Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fitness Goal Friday. Today, we're going to talk about how to run a faster mile. I could not be more excited about this because I just recently released my brand new program called Your Best Mile. And why this hits so home for me and why this is so personal to me is because this is a program that I went exactly through myself and I saw so many great results from. Obviously, both physically, because I decreased my mile time by almost 5 seconds a lap, but also mentally and just having the confidence to be able to have a plan and then stick to it and see great results from it. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, go to go.nickcarrier.com/yourbestmile. Again, go.nickcarrier.com/yourbestmile. I mean, if you open up this episode because the title was How to Run a Faster Mile, and you're somebody who wants to run a faster mile or maybe just wants to become a better runner, then this program is for you, regardless of where you currently stand. We've customized it in a way, me and my run coach, Scott Fanning, we've customized it in a way that no matter where you're starting from, whether you run a 10-minute mile or a 6-minute mile right now, or whether you run 0 miles a week or you run 20 miles a week, that this program is for you and you're going to see great results from it. But today I want to talk about actually a little bit about the program and some of the biggest keys, like the 4 biggest keys to running your fastest mile and PRing in your best mile. There's 4 things that you need to be doing every single week. First one is running a certain set of total miles every single week. The second one is you need to be doing a primary workout. The third is you need to be doing a secondary workout. And then the fourth is you need to be doing injury prevention work. Now let's talk about each one individually. For total mileage, how many total miles you need to be running every single week in order to run your best mile is dependent on where you currently stand. If you're somebody who currently runs maybe 10 miles a week, then maybe you need to start at 10 miles and then we're going to bump you up about 1% every single week, right? Maybe you're going to add an additional mile, additional 2 miles, or maybe an additional half a mile every single week. If you're somebody who currently runs 20 miles, then maybe you continue to run 20 miles and again, bump up your volume as you go week to week. If you currently run 0 miles, we would still recommend that you start running close to 10. Now, we want to make sure that we have a total mileage that is not completely scary and something that is going to completely injure you, right? Which is why injury prevention's in here as well. But you still need to be getting a decent amount of mileage in, especially if you're not doing a whole lot of exercise outside of that. Because one of the things that my run coach, Scott Fanning, truly believes in is a lot of times the more miles you get in, it can actually help you prevent injury because you're building up those muscles. Like if you think about it, running is essentially a single leg exercise repeated over and over and over and over again. So you're getting those stabilizer muscles in each of your legs stronger with every single stride. Now, however, you also are putting pressure on your joints. And so you need to make sure that your muscles are the things that are being recruited and the things that are being activated and stimulated when you're running, which is why a lot of times we do activation exercises before we actually run. But that's stuff that's in the Your Best Mile program that you can get access to if you want to at go.nickcarrier.com/yourbestmile. But the first thing that you need to do is come up with a total mileage that you need to run this week or next week, whenever you want to try to attack this goal, and then increase that by maybe 1 mile or so every single week until the end when you start to taper off. And again, you can learn more about tapering off in the Your Best Mile program. But number 1, you need to come up with a total mileage that you need to run every single week that is based off of where you currently stand. The second thing that you need to do is have a primary workout. Now, ideally, you do that primary workout on the track. And what we're trying to get out there, what the primary purpose of the primary workout is to start building, number 1, your speed, 2, your kind of speed endurance and your anaerobic threshold. And then number 3, you're gaining awareness around how to pace yourself. Because that was one of the biggest things for me. I'll talk about the third one first, the knowledge around how to pace yourself. For me, I wasn't somebody who ran track in high school or ran cross country in high school. So I just played baseball and football, and a lot of what we did was sprints. And so I was always coming out of the gates like a bat out of hell. And that's what hurt my mile time the first time I ran my benchmark is I crushed the first lap, but then I was dead. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up. And so these primary workouts, if you have a goal time that you need to run 400 meters in, or you have a goal time that you need to run 600 meters in, and you have a stopwatch or you have a coach timing you, then you can start to learn what that time feels like. Like for me, for example, I'll give you a really good example. For 400 meters, I needed to run every single lap and right at around 71 seconds. And I would be in the habit of coming out of the gates at 68 seconds, 67, 66. And so what I did is I had a stopwatch on my phone pulled out, and I knew exactly what time I needed to be at 100 meters, exactly what time I needed to be at 200 meters, exactly what time I needed to be at 300 meters, and then what I needed to be at 400. And we did even splits. And so I realized that my first 100 meters felt like I wasn't even working because it was a lot slower than I was used to. And so one of the biggest things with that primary workouts is learning how to pace yourself, which is absolutely huge. The second thing is working on speed, right? And you'll really, in your best mile, that program, you'll really work on speed mostly towards the end. You're always going to get it a little bit here and there mixed in towards the end of some of your workouts to make sure you can squeak out a little bit of speed towards the end. But you'll primarily really be hitting on a lot on speed towards the second half of that Your Best Mile program. And the third one is building up your anaerobic threshold, because it's essentially what that means is we're pushing back the point at which you're going to hit your wall. Like there's a point where our energy systems transfer over from aerobic to anaerobic, and we want to try to delay that as much as possible. The more aerobically efficient you are, the more you can push yourself at high levels of intensity for a longer period of time. And so those primary track workouts are absolutely huge. And those are the most important workout of the week where you really train kind of those few things.